Welcome back, folks. Today we're diving into a topic that's about as fun as a root canal performed by a badger with shaky paws, but infinitely more important. We're talking about impending collapse, societal unraveling, the kind of stuff that makes you want to invest in canned goods and a cabin in the woods. Now you might think, John, what fresh hell are you unleashing now? We're talking about Europe. Yes, Europe, the land of baguettes, questionable fashion choices, and apparently a whole lot of trouble brewing beneath the surface. We're talking about the 10 fastest collapsing European countries that no one seems to be talking about. So buckle up, grab your nearest emergency cheese fondue kit, and let's get started. First up, we have Greece, a country that's no stranger to crisis. Greece's economy is still sputtering like a moped with a flat tire, unemployment is sky high, and young people are fleeing the country faster than you can say financial austerity. It's like the whole country's gone through a messy divorce with the global economy, and they're still fighting over who gets to keep the Parthenon. We're talking revolving door governments, protests that make Times Square on New Year's Eve look like a library, and a level of public distrust that could curdle feta cheese. Until they can get their economic and political house in order, it's hard to see a bright future for the birthplace of democracy. Next, we're hopping over to Italy, a country that's usually associated with delicious pasta, stylish shoes, and hand gestures so expressive they could tell a story without words. Unfortunately, the story Italy's telling these days is less romantic comedy and more existential dread. Italy's economy has been stuck in a rut for years, weighed down by mountains of debt, a bloated bureaucracy, and a tax system that makes Dante's Inferno look like a walk in the park. Young people are leaving in droves, seeking opportunities elsewhere, leaving behind an aging population and a shrinking workforce. Add to that a growing wealth gap, political polarization, and a rising tide of nationalism. And you've got a recipe for, well, let's just say it's not the kind of recipe you find in your nonna's cookbook. From the land of passionate flamenco dancing and delicious tapas, we arrive in Spain, a country that's been grappling with some serious challenges of its own. Sure, the beaches are still beautiful, the sangria still flows freely, but beneath the surface there's a current of unease. One of the biggest issues facing Spain is its environment. Climate change is hitting the country hard with scorching heat waves, devastating droughts, and rising sea levels threatening coastal communities. Then there's the issue of inequality, where Spain has one of the highest rates of income inequality in Europe, with a growing gap between the rich and the poor. Add to that political instability, a resurgent Catalan independence movement, and a youth unemployment rate that would make a matador nervous, and you've got a situation that's far from tranquilo. Next, we sail on over to Portugal, a country known for its beautiful coastline, melancholic fado music, and unfortunately a healthcare system that's showing some serious cracks. Portugal's healthcare system used to be something they were quite proud of, but in recent years it's been struggling to keep up, like a marathon runner hitting the wall at mile 20. Underfunding, staff shortages and long waiting lists have become the norm, leaving many Portuguese citizens feeling anxious about the future of their health. A country is only as strong as its healthcare system, and right now Portugal's is looking a bit peaky. From the land of Dracula and stunning Carpathian mountains, we arrive in Romania, a country that's undergone a remarkable transformation since the fall of communism. But while Romania has made significant progress in some areas, its education system is looking like it could use a little resuscitation. Romania's education system has been plagued by problems for years. Underfunding, outdated teaching methods, and a brain drain of qualified teachers have left many Romanian students ill-equipped for the demands of the 21st century. In a globalized world where knowledge is power, Romania risks falling further behind. Nestled in the heart of the Balkans, Bulgaria is a country of stunning natural beauty, rich history, and unfortunately a level of corruption that would make a Byzantine emperor raise an eyebrow. Corruption is like a nasty strain of mold that's been allowed to fester in Bulgaria for far too long. It infects every level of government, from petty bribes to shady business deals involving vast sums of public money. This rampant corruption has a corrosive effect on Bulgarian society. It's like trying to build a house on a foundation of quicksand. Eventually, the whole thing is going to sink. Next, we're heading to Croatia, a country known for its stunning Adriatic coastline, picturesque islands, and sadly, an unemployment rate that would make a mermaid consider a career change. Croatia's economy has been struggling to stay afloat since its independence. A lack of economic diversification, high levels of corruption, and a bloated public sector have all contributed to a situation where jobs are scarce, especially for young people. This lack of jobs has led to a brain drain, with many young and educated Croatians seeking greener pastures abroad. It's a vicious cycle. The more people leave, the fewer skilled workers there are to drive economic growth, which leads to even more people leaving. From the land of thermal baths and hearty goulash, we arrive in Hungary, a country that's been making headlines lately for its increasingly authoritarian government. But while Viktor Orban's illiberal tendencies are certainly cause for concern, we're here to talk about something a little less abstract: Hungary's crumbling infrastructure. Infrastructure is the backbone of any modern society. Roads, bridges, railways, airports. These things are essential for economic growth, social mobility, and, just getting around without feeling like you're in a Mad Max movie. Unfortunately, Hungary's infrastructure has seen better days. Years of underinvestment and neglect have left roads potholed, bridges creaking, and public transportation systems struggling to keep up with demand. Nestled at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, Serbia is a country with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and, unfortunately, a crime rate that's enough to make you want to sleep with the lights on. Now, Serbia isn't exactly Gotham City, but in recent years the country has seen a worrying rise in organized crime, corruption, and violence. This surge in criminal activity has a chilling effect on Serbian society. It's like trying to run a business in a war zone. Even if you manage to survive, you're constantly looking over your shoulder. Finally, we come to Ukraine, a country currently locked in a desperate struggle for survival against Russian aggression. While the war has understandably dominated headlines, it's important to remember that Ukraine was facing serious challenges even before the invasion. One of the most pressing issues facing Ukraine is its declining quality of life. Years of corruption, economic mismanagement, and conflict have taken a heavy toll on the country's infrastructure, healthcare system, and education system. This decline in living standards has led to widespread disillusionment and a sense that the Ukrainian dream is slipping away. It's a tragic situation, made all the more heartbreaking by the ongoing conflict. And there you have it, folks, the 10 fastest collapsing European countries that no one talks about. From economic woes to political instability to crumbling infrastructure, these countries are facing a perfect storm of challenges. Now, I know what you're thinking, John, this is all terribly depressing. Is there any hope? And to that I say, of course there's hope. These are complex problems, but they're not insurmountable. With the right leadership, smart policies, and a good dose of international cooperation, these countries can turn things around. If you found this video informative, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Until next time, take care.